Hello and welcome once again. This is Inside Politics on Universal Television, UTV Africa. Thanks for joining us. This is where we talk about Nigeria. We talk about its growth, its development, its politics, its policies. And we usually bring those who have something to say, those who have a say in how Nigeria is being run, those who can help us analyze issues and even profile solutions and ideas on how to make Nigeria a better place. Yes, this is where we talk about the state of the nation. My name is Maddox, Maduka Ujimadru. I'm your regular host here. Today will not be any different, as we will not just be x-raying the issues going on in Nigeria, we will also be proffering solutions. And like I always say, it's political season, so a lot of talk will be around the political players, not just politics as an issue. Well, it's a great honor for me to welcome my guest today. My guest is Dr. Peter Adole Agada. He is an architect and an infrastructure policy strategist. He is also a nation builder. Dr. Agada has a 30-year experience in architecture, in building, in developmental, not just policies, but also projects. He is someone who has dedicated his life in not just building structures, but also building processes that are aimed at transforming Nigeria, making Nigeria a better place. He has been involved in professional engagements and also been in the background supporting other political players to help them achieve their policies. But he has now decided himself to say, why don't I get my hands on the saddle and get the job done? And that is why he is now running under the Young Progressive Party of Nigeria. Dr. Agada, welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
This is the second time we're having a conversation.
Yes.
The last time we were on radio, so my TV audience were not able to be carried along, but it's good to have you join us on television today. So we are talking about your aspiration to become president of Nigeria. And if you felt that those who are there now and the other people who are aspiring to be there in 2027 are good enough for the job, I don't think you would have thrown your heart in the ring.
Absolutely.
So the obvious question is, why are you aspiring? Why do you want to be president? And maybe while you're doing that, you help us. I've introduced you. It's a short introduction. I have your CV here. It reads like a mini textbook. I wouldn't want to even start doing that, but it's not bad if you also blow your own trumpet. So talk to us about who Dr. Peter Agada is and why you feel you should be the president of Nigeria come 2027.
All right. Thank you so much for that very trickish question. But, yes, before now, Dr. Peter Agada has been at the back end of everything government and governance. Literally every government that has been in place since 2004 to date had one reason or the other to engage myself and my team. I have a team. I lead a team of professionals in all Nigeria's 23 sectors. Some of us are home, some outside of Nigeria, doing excellently well in their various practices abroad. I lead a team of Nigerians called the Congress of Nigerian Professionals, and we have garrisoned together. Note the word I'm using, garrisoned, for the last 20 years. And the purpose of our meeting and gathering together was to produce a kind of solution template for all Nigeria's sectors of development. And from time to time, we are actually taking these solutions to different ministries, department, agencies, and governments, and even a lot of government, intending government people, politicians who want to run for office, had actually also met with us during the time of, there was a time Mr. Nasir El-Rufai was to run for office, Nasir El-Rufai campaign strategy. We wrote, and then it went beyond that to presenting a Federal Executive Council with infrastructure master plan that has oil, gas, roads, and other infrastructure from where the Nigeria's, a lot of Nigeria's policies were drawn from there. It went beyond that to Buhari Tunde Bakare campaign. It went beyond that to Mr. Peter Obi, and then now it's coming for Mr. Peter Agada. So the Congress of Professionals have been doing this for a while, and I've led them for the last 20 years. In private practice, I've run an organization called Cyrus, the Cyrus Group, basically speaking, made up of Cyrus Acoustics, Cyrus Projects, Cyrus Infrastructure, okay, and then now the Apartments by Cyrus. So the Cyrus Group is a limited liability group of companies where we have been in the field of architecture, acoustics, even security infrastructure. We had actually at a point as Tyler Cyrus over 10 years ago propounded the solution for which the Nigerian armed forces were being told how to combat insecurity and insurgency in Nigeria. So you can see we've been there, okay, in the private sector area and in the political area. Now let me come to your question of why do I think I have to throw my hat in the ring. As a student of studying governance and government for the last 20 years, because even while we wrote policies, we were educating ourselves on how policies should be written and how policies should be presented and how policies should lead to reforms. We were studying. As a student of policy and governance, I've noticed one singular factor that has cut across the way governance has been run in Nigeria from 1999 to date. One common factor. And I said it a number of days ago when I stood at an event. And I said, even if an angel is sent from the right hand of God, you know, there are different angels in heaven. There's one at the right hand of God, the one with many eyes. Yes, in the book of Revelation, I'm a student of the Bible. Even if that angel is sent from heaven to come to Aso Rock today, and he becomes the president of Nigeria, and he wants to run this country using the same ideology and principles that every politician has used from then to date, the situation will not only go from bad to worse, it will go from worse to worse. What do I mean? If you notice, several great persons have come to office. And it appears like every single time they come, there's a lot of hope. When they leave, there's gloom. From Goodluck Jonathan, he was clapping. He was the guy without the shoes. He was a very humble man. By the time he was leaving, we had impunity all over the air. Oh, Buhari was coming. Magaskia is coming. Magaskia is coming. The righteous one is coming. By the time he was going, gloom. The man who took Lagos to the heights and to the skies of commercial existence and governance. He came, there was clapping of hands. Oh, we're going to make it. Towards the end, gloom. What is common to these people? One thing, ideology. They run Nigeria with one singular ideology. What's the name of it? It's the rights. What they call in these ideological schools of thought, they are extreme rightists. What does this mean? It simply means that these persons believe in total liberalization of the economy. It began from Obasanjo's time. Okay? Without it, the protection of the vulnerable and the weak in society was gradually paling into oblivion as these consecutive governments were coming. What does that mean? The weak and vulnerable in society, which Africa, the third world, and most other developing economies have a lot in abundance. Policies upon policies are being tweaked every day to reduce the amount of support that government outrightly and deliberately goes to do to help those persons. This present administration is the worst of it. Once you liberalize items as critical as petroleum, you have simply exposed the average struggling person in Nigeria.
In other words, are you saying the government should have retained subsidy in petroleum?
Yeah, I will go for not necessarily retain the subsidy. I will go for some form of a phased removal of subsidy. Okay. Phase removal, but as I'm phasing it against something. I'm benchmarking my phasing against a build-up of strengthening processes and programs for those who are weak in society.
Some cushions.
Yes. There will be a dovetail. As I'm phasing out, I'm phasing in something. As I'm phasing out, I'm phasing in something. It's a dovetail. Deliberate. And that is what I'm sure by the time we get to Labor Direct, you will understand what it is. What I drive is a totally different ideology.
So it's good you mentioned Labor Direct, because from all I've seen and heard about you and from you, you talk about Labor Direct.
Yeah.
So the question now, which I'm sure will take us to Labor Direct ultimately, is, you said these people, is the ideology on which they operate. That's what's causing the whole problem, why they don't seem to excel. So what would you do differently?
I would run a different ideology. I am not an extreme rightist. I'm not a pure 100% capitalist. I don't have a problem with capitalism.
So are you leftist?
I am not extreme leftist.
I
like how my president...
Babangida said a little to the left, a little to the right.
Now, capitalism is wonderful. You know, God has designed the earth, for some part of the earth, naturally, to be mountains and others to be valleys. All right, that means definitely some people will have more than some. It's how the universe functions. You know, even universal laws and forces, you have higher and lower forces. All right, it's nature that some people will have more than some. It's also nature that some will be given more witty intentions and inventions than some. All right, but what is expected, you know, with a heart that is humanistic in nature, is that those that are strong should look after the weak.
Okay.
That's how we are in Africa. That's how we are. That's Ubuntu. I am because you are, because we are. That's our culture. The copying of the 100% Western capitalism is what has affected us badly. We are now living exactly the way they live, not having concern. In fact, not even that they don't have concern. They have concern for their weak and vulnerable in society. But we are taking this thing so out. I give an example. A friend of mine was talking about the subsidy regime in the US. You know, I was surprised to hear that the United States in 2026 budgeted $20 billion for subsidy for petroleum. And these are the fathers of capitalism. So why will Nigeria not just rather deal with the corruption in the system, in the subsidy system, than withdraw it entirely and see the shocks it has caused now? 40% employment, 63 million Nigerians living below the poverty line right now already. Because we didn't take time to look at what needs to be done. It's actually a lazy economics that we practiced, purely. So I will run a middle to the left, more to the left, ideologies. It's a social democracy.
Okay.
A social system where, let me give you an example. I want to develop housing, social housing for the people. All I need to do is take housing out of this existing city, go maybe 15, maybe 20, maybe 25 kilometers away from existing city centers, all right? And I will build a house, social housing. And I will build a factory behind this house. And
when you say house, I guess a cluster of houses.
A cluster of houses. I'm taking one unit now. A unit of a house, for example, 3-bedroom. And behind this house, you have 2 gates into this house. You have a front gate, you have a back gate. The front road in front supplies the house traffic. You want to come to your house, you want to go out. The back road is an industrial road. It brings materials in for processing and takes finished products out. That means to own this house in front, you must be ready to work in the industry behind.
Okay.
You see that 2-in-1. You are giving the man a house, which by present standards now, today, people cannot afford houses because of the cost of materials, because of the cost of land and the rest of it. Because in 2012, 2013, the federal government gave me a grant for infrastructure for housing. because I won a social housing system design. Now, they gave me the first 200 persons to benefit from my housing project. It's called Unity Village. I took these 200 persons to Federal Mortgage Bank to profile them for mortgage loan. Only 16 qualified. It simply meant that by the time you do the deductions, only 16 out of 200 qualifies. That means only 8% of Nigerians can afford houses today.
If we take that as a
following that,
sample,
of course, it is. It's
sample,
even less than that.
sample.
It's even less than that, sir.
Cool.
I'm using that singular, okay? But with what I'm talking about, you are giving it. This is because of the source of income of most Nigerians. The economy is down. If I have partners that abandoned projects here, international partners that wanted to come and do housing, they left it. Why? The economy is bad. The economy of Nigeria cannot pay for a house for a normal civil servant or just a normal Nigerian working on the street. It's difficult. You can't afford it. Okay? But with what I'm talking about, I'm giving you a house and I'm giving you a job at the same time. Behind your house, I will bring in equipment, bring in materials, and station them for you so that you can process either agro, solid mineral, or whatever behind your house. And somebody else will come, collect them, take them to the market, and your account will just be showing you your credit. But you're living in front. And from your credits, Federal Mortgage Bank is doing its deductions. If it's a car you bought on mortgage, the car company is doing their mortgages. But your house is not just a house to sleep. Your house is a production center. Are you following what I'm saying? It's ideas like this that nations like Nigeria needs. That is what Venezuela is practicing. That's what Brazil is practicing. That's what South Africa is practicing.
But how many people can you do this for?
You can do this for millions of persons. There are standardized processes today that can give you 300, 400,000 houses in 2 months. Our young graduates are all over the place. They have no job. You can build these clusters with technology in mind. What I've just described is agriculture and solid mineral. It's technology housing villages where every person living in this place is a technology solution provider for some companies out there. Not necessarily, your solution taken from your phones and your laptop is feeding one factory in the Silicon Valley or somewhere in Germany, but you are living in Nigeria. The world has gone global. You don't have to be here, and the problems you are solving in Nigeria doesn't have to be a Nigerian problem. You are solving international problems living in your room. So when we can structure that kind of a thing, providing social service for industrialization to pick up, prosperity will come over in our nation. And it's happening. I'm not, the BRIC nations are practicing this. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa now.
It was about to become BRICS. Nigeria
BRICS-N,
but
BRICS-N.
But something went wrong.
It is going to come to BRICS-N by the time I get to office. BRICS-N. BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China,
right.
South Africa, -N.
Let's look at your Labour Direct.
Yes.
Which is, from what you've said, the blueprint.
Yes.
Of your government if and when you form it.
Yeah.
Let's take it sector by sector. You've talked about housing and in employment creation, like in one fell swoop.
Yes.
But how do you also handle other sectors based on your Labour Direct? Let's look at education, for instance. We just heard that the federal government is now planning to abolish the disarticulation, the separation between junior and senior secondary school. They now want to have a straight 12-year basic education plan because they said that separating junior and secondary school has created a situation where the junior secondary schools are overpopulated and the senior secondary schools are underpopulated because there are many junior secondary schools, but they are not progressing beyond that to the secondary schools, and has contributed to the 20 or 30 million out of school children, depending on who you're asking. This is a policy that the government has brought in to tackle that. Under your Labour Direct
Yeah.
initiative,
Yeah.
what would you do to enhance education in the country across all levels, not just basic education?
Again, do you see that it is ideology that is causing that problem? Can you see from what you just described now, the problem of ideology? Central in the middle of what you just described is economy. Why are people not progressing beyond junior secondary school to senior secondary school? Why are people not progressing beyond senior secondary school into universities? It's the economy. I was telling somebody 2 nights ago, whether you turn Nigeria to 13 states or to 6 states, or you leave it at 36 states, our challenge is not the structuring. What you're describing now is a restructuring of the educational sector. I, as a person, I can be seated here today, the son of a sergeant, warrant officer in the army. I went to school both in Enugu, in the barracks, Kano, in the barracks, Lagos. Providence took me outside the barracks to GRA primary school. From my GRA primary school in Lagos, Ikeja, I went to a secondary school called Victory College. There was one thing common to all these schools, sir. I did not remember my father struggling to pay school fees at all. Education was free. In the Southwest, Jack Onde, my governor then, under the Obafemi Awolowo's ideology, which I 100% buy into, gave us books. In fact, I remember I didn't used to see clean notebooks until the school brought fresh, crisp notebooks. They will give us 24. They will give us textbook, maths, English, all right? Math sets, pencils, pen. They were only short of giving us school uniforms. That is why the son of a sergeant, my father was sergeant. I remember the sergeant took on my head.
The police sergeant.
Soldier, man.
Okay, military, army sergeant.
He retired a warrant officer, master warrant officer. I remember going to get my father's salary for him 1989 or so. He was posted and then he left me his check. When I took that check and I saw the amount, I was shocked. 241 naira. 1989. And I went to school, got my first degree, got my master's degree, even through my education in university. The highest I paid when I got to school was 90 naira. It was for hostel accommodation. School fees, University of Jos was 13 naira. And we came out. And my generation, many like me, all over the place today, we are well educated, we can compete. And most of the Nigerians that have left the shores of this country, that are excelling everywhere they are right now, are of our generation. We schooled for literally nothing. Why is a Western capitalist thinking economy insisting on giving students loans?
You don't think?
I will not.
You don't think? You don't think Nel Fund is a plus?
I'm saying this in front of the camera. Education from primary school to university will be free, at least to the first degree.
So for you, Nel Fund.
It doesn't matter whether you restructure it from primary 1 to 12. We will tailor our education towards what we need as a country. We will not build on an education that trains us as a manufacturing system to cater for a Western national or Western world view of what development and production will be. We'll develop our education around what we need. If you go to Benue, our education around Benue will be designed around what we can do in Benue. I said this somewhere before, that the primary school students in Benue, we should animate all the possibilities in Benue. We have groundnut, we have fruits, we have soya beans. We will animate the industrial processes that can take these raw materials and add value to them for international export and feed them on the children that go to primary schools in Benue, apart from teaching them social sciences, health sciences, English, and mathematics that enables their scientific curiosity to trigger. Our education needs a total reform, but it's not about structuring primary 1 to 12 or 12. It's none of those things. And if you build an economy, I just described a cluster for you now, where somebody and his work lives together. Of course, it's only natural that if you have 5,000 of them or 4,000 of them living in a cluster, you must have educational centers there. You must have healthcare centers there. The solution to Nigeria is easy. It's quite easy. It's some work, but we have the capacity to do it. And we believe that with support and with a will of the people to embrace what we're talking about, we can do it.
All right, let's talk about agriculture.
Yeah.
Interesting, you mentioned Benue. I know you're a Benue man, so if agriculture is not one of the fulcrums of your administration, I will be surprised. We hear about Benue. You just mentioned it. So many crops. Benue is called the food basket of Nigeria.
Yes.
So many crops, fruits, and vegetables. Name them, and we see mangoes, tomatoes, so many fruits waste during season.
Yes.
What would you do differently to radically reposition agriculture in Nigeria so that we don't lose any part of the value chain? And I guess this could also track back to security, but we'll come to security. But let's talk about agriculture.
Agriculture is 27% of Nigeria's GDP, followed by industry, industrial manufacturing. The first is the service industry, 55%.
Yeah.
Agriculture is second, 27%, and then industry is 22 or so, 20%, thereabout. If you combine agriculture and industry, you come to about 47%. What is needed in agriculture today is to combine agriculture with industry.
Okay.
We need to go out of farming. What we are doing right now is called farming, subsistence in a lot of ways. We need to go into food production. There is a difference between farming and food production. Okay, farming can be subsistent, that's one, basic, little people use their home. But food production is scientific. It's not just the application of equipment. So going from farming to food production is the first thing I'm going to do. You don't need to wait for the rains to fall for you to have dry season and wet season before you have proper processes. That's subsistent farming. That is how our forefathers of old lived. Today, people behind their backs, in bags of cement, are producing the yam that the family will need forever. It's food production. You produce your yam, you produce your sweet potato by yourself behind your house with bags. It's already piloted by my late friend of blessed memory, Dr. Emeka Okengu, okay, who was driving this along with a couple of our team, you know. Just take sand in the bag, you know, almost zero manuring and whatever. And it's growing. We need to go from farming to food production. That's basically what I'm going to do if I get into office in agriculture. And then next will be connect agriculture to industry so that we do not export our raw material. Apart from taking care of food security, we need to process. A few days ago, a number of persons, I was in a comedy room, and they made comedy out of this talk by Her Excellency Tinubu, kuli akara and roasted corn. But you see, it probably came off with a wrong soundbite from her. What she is saying, Nigeria has 250 or more tribes, okay? Each tribe has one beautiful snack or the other, sir. I travel to the UK, I travel to the US. I see what Indians and other nationalities, Venezuelans and other parts, do with their snack. They package these snacks well, and it's selling $8, $3, $4, earning high-end, high money, high dollar values. Our kuli can become an international business. I guess what she's trying to say is this. If you apply some innovation to these things we take as ordinary stuff, akara, kuli, agbado, and the rest of them. And you package them in such a way that it can attract or you can sell them. I go to the Nigerian market in London, in London, and I buy kuli, and it's £8. And I was calculate £8, 8 times 201. I was like, this thing is costly here. if it's Abuja, I'll have bought it for maybe one mudu for. So this is what I think we should be looking at.
All right.
Exporting, adding value to our agricultural produce. Cassava is an amazing crop with several items in its value chain that can revolutionize this country. If Nigeria just sticks, the savannah region of Nigeria, we stay to cassava alone, we'll become a world power.
All right. Well, we'll be heading out for this commercial break. When we come back, we'll enter part 2 of this conversation. Dr. Agada has some other sectors he needs to talk to us about. And of course, he's going to talk to us about his 10 executive orders, which will be the driving force of his administration if he is elected president of Nigeria. We'll be back. Don't touch your dial. You're very welcome back. It's still Inside Politics here on Universal Television, UTVAfrica. My name is Maddox, and I'm here with my guest, Dr. Peter Adole Agada. And together we have been looking at what he has in store for Nigerians if he is elected president of Nigeria. Do remember, he's running for president. So for now, he's an aspirant, but hopeful nominee of the Young Progressive Party of Nigeria, YPP. Dr. Agada, thanks for
Thank you
staying
again
with us.
Maddox.
So let's come down. Before we went on the break, we were talking about agriculture, but you've said so many things, and in an environment that lacks security and safety, one can do little, if anything, at all. If you look at the dominant issue in Nigeria today, it used to be the economy.
Yes.
But now it looks like we've forgotten the economy. Everyone is focusing on security. Security has become a big issue.
Yes.
They are trying to introduce state police and all of that. Talk to me. What would you do radically differently to bring about security in Nigeria so that all your programs can flourish and not be disturbed by insecurity, and then Nigerians can also live freely and securely and prosper?
Thank you so much. A very, 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 very cogent question you just asked. I'm going to answer you from my ideology of what the insecurity is about, and then I'm going to use a mathematical term. My teacher in mathematics then, Mr. Asaba, I think of blessed memory now. He's from Ghana.
Okay.
He bore a name. He said, I don't know what it was that happened in the school then. It was a security issue. And then he said, insecurity is directly proportional to a bad economy. I can't forget that word. Insecurity is a direct proportion to a bad economy.
Yeah.
What does that mean? If the economy is bad, people will do something, and whatever they have to do to survive could tend to become insecure to some other person.
Yeah.
So the more you have men who keep the economy bad, the higher defenses they need to build to stop people from jumping across. Well, I told a story on set. Was it yesterday? I think I was talking in Ibadan. And I said I have a younger brother. His name is Sonny, of blessed memory again. Sonny likes to hunt. We lived in this barracks in Ikeja. You know where the bomb exploded one time? Yeah. You know, the military left that place bushy, like a forest, just to protect people from going in there. So it's a forest of a sort. And these young boys that like to hunt, they like to go there to set traps, shoot at some rats, or whatever. Sonny he loves hunting. And then these days, Sonny went hunting and Sonny met a snake near his trap. His trap had caught something and the snake was there. And then Sonny wanted to also kill the snake along with his hunt. And he was chasing this snake and this snake was running. He was chasing this snake and this snake was running. Sonny, leave the snake alone. The snake has run. Sonny said, no, I will not leave the snake. Sonny was following the snake. He followed the snake, stoned the snake, beat the snake. The snake was running. Sonny was following the snake until the snake got to a big wall where he could not run again. And then this snake turned back at Sonny and stood up. This was a snake crawling. It stood up that way. And the height of the snake and the height of Sonny became equal. Right. And this snake opened his mouth, and something in the form of a dog barking came out of the mouth of this snake. We all saw it. Sonny ran away.
The hunter became the hunted.
Sir, ideologically, what this insecurity you are seeing is, from after my fine, detailed research, is two things. Number one, the people have been pushed to the brinks. Hunger. Number two, they have allowed people to become fundamentalists because of deprivation. I've always talked about Westerns, and of course, I don't want to call that Eastern, the opposite, civilizations. The insecurity you see happening in Nigeria is a clash, it's a response, it's a hit back at Western civilization. That is why you see it came in the form of Islamic fundamentalism. Hear them out. They are shouting, Allahu Akbar. A few days ago, some of them went to the Holy Land. Fundamentalists. Criminals being looked for. From Katsina, they went to Umrah, where they went to pray to their God, to empower them more, to come and fight against this evil Western system. Are you hearing me, sir? It is the East versus the West that has crept into a very wonderful and innocent Nigeria. And the system on ground here has not allowed us to ward them off, because it has encouraged poverty and impoverished the people. So what will I do? Labor Direct takes the wealth of the nation, divides it equitably, not by giving out money like Udojo. It's not that way. We go to the wards, 774 local government, 8,800 wards. We appoint ward. You see, politics makes us have ward leaders or ward chairmen or what. We don't call our own ward chairman. They will do ward chairman during politics, but after politics, there will be ward technical coordinators that will drive development in their areas. What am I saying? We will run a bottom-top budgeting and project development governance system rather than a top-bottom. Because the top-bottom, powerful as that intention might be, let me tell you why we had top-bottom system. Democracy is a 4-year game, 4 to 8-year game, right? So when people get into office, the paraphernalia of office, before they settle down, before one thing, before the other, 4 years is over. So out of the wisdom of those who developed the presidential system, they also advise the Western nation now, have a civil service system that is permanent. So that as these guys come 4 years in, 4 years out, and they go, the civil service system is supposed to be the ones driving development. While they come and go and they come and go, civil service is permanent. Unfortunately, that system has gone bad. The civil service has been politicized. In those days, it is the best of the best of the best that goes to civil service. Have you noticed now? It is the worst of the worst of the worst that go to civil service. So that system is not working. So the top-bottom budgeting system we have right now gives room for a lot of corruption and inefficiency. In fact, they budget 4 years in, 4 years out, 6 trillion per year, 8 trillion, 5 trillion per year. I go to my hometown every year and we still don't have water. There's no road and there's no water and so there's no power.
It doesn't trickle down from up there.
Not at all. So what we want to do is to reverse that order, just like Brazil, just like Venezuela, and the rest of the BRIC nations.
Even the US.
Yes.
It's a bottom up.
Bottom top. And then we set up a supervisory system where the people who budgeted, who voted for projects in their rural areas are involved in supervision, and they are connected to the Public Complaint Commission, the ICPC, and the EFCCs of this world. So that when your project in the labor direct system is looking like it's not going ahead and it is flagged red, this world technical guys will place a report on the system. I hope you're getting me, sir.
Yeah.
So this is what we want to run, as we get into office. It's a complete change of the present order and system. So insecurity is going to vanish by itself. It will go the way it came. It will go the way it came. It came as a flood, it will disappear as a flood. As we equitably redevelop our country and distribute the wealth down to the bottom of our nation. I don't know any man who has a house, who has where to work, who has a family to look after, that will go carrying gun to go and kill another man. I don't know. It's not in the nature of human beings. This is an aberration and a misnomer.
All right, let's talk about your 10 executive orders. It's instructive that they had to be 10.
The first 10, actually.
Okay, so these are your first 10. That's the point. So your first executive orders had to be 10.
Yes.
Within your very first
100 days in office.
100 days in office. So let's talk about these executive orders. Maybe you could reel them out and tell us the philosophies behind them.
Yes. So in order for us to achieve this equitable distribution of Nigeria's wealth, get the youths who are currently disconnected from governance into the system. We have more than 60 million able-bodied, young, qualified, educated youth in Nigeria that are totally separated from the system. We have created these executive orders to be able to drive the Labor Direct initiative. The first one we say is agro security cluster and farmstead protection. So you see, we're not going to be fooled that from day one, insecurity will disappear. It won't disappear. It will take some time. Like I said, it will go the way it came. It will go gradually as we equitably develop and distribute the wealth. But before it goes away, we need to first of all make the farm places safe. Because we are going to go straight to clusters. I have described clusters not just for farming, but clusters as a place of living for young men, as well as a place of industrialization. So our clusters are agro, they are industry, they are residential. You are living, you are in food production, and you are in industrial process. So what we need to do, first of all, is to protect our clusters. We will nominate the clusters, map the clusters, nominate the clusters, and protect the clusters. All right? We're going to use a mix of man and technology for our security system. And like you know, I told you the last time that when Mark Zuckerberg was in Nigeria, 2016, I had actually developed a system which won recognition at that time, okay, for security. The Nigerian Armed Forces took it in. I presented it. We did a proof of concept. They saw that this was marvelous. The Defense Ministries wrote a very powerful report, recommended it to the minister. Minister saw it, signed an agreement. Up to today, I still have that agreement open for development. A national security network architecture that enables Nigeria's border security, number one. It enables Nigeria's highway protection. These highways you're seeing, 55,000 kilometers of our highway, all under surveillance, and you have reconnaissance capacity. It has a command and control center in 6 geopolitical zones where these places will be managed real time. And there's a rapid response squad, prepared rapid response squad, made up of man, drones, and other means. So you see, all we need to do is network this. Labor Direct is a digital system.
Okay, so that's for executive order number 1.
Executive order number 1. Protect the clusters, make the farms safe for people to go back and farm, and then live in the farms as additional security, and then process in the farm as 3-level security, and then the farm becomes a wealthy place. Of course, you have investors interested, and then, of course, we are safe.
Right.
All right?
Two.
So executive order number 1. Then number 2, verified built industry professionals order. The built industry professionals order is necessary because we're talking about development that is 23 sectors that is tied around infrastructure development. Policy, infrastructure, 23 sector, NLC policy. That's what Labor Direct is. NLC, TUC.
Okay.
The two major labor centers. Their policies, you have infrastructure, you have policy, you have 23 sectors working together. So who we build this? We want in our day for us to be able to vet all professionals in all states of the Federation. There's no state you go to right now and you blow a whistle, you don't have the complete set of persons to develop that state. No state. Nigeria is so blessed with professionals. No one state, you don't find the architects, you don't find the engineers, the road, the quantity surveyor, the town planner. There's no one state that doesn't have them. Blow the whistle, vet them, bring them together, blow another whistle, get the artisans, bring them together. Oh yeah, draw the master plan. Pick your location for your state by yourself. Work with the wards, work with the local government. You know what you want. You know where the shoe pinches in your state. So we get the professionals together on a state-by-state basis. They produce master planning for what they need, cost them, carry it to the center. We'll have a master team that will check all of this to make sure there's no excesses. All right? Budget. And we implement. So that's the second executive order.
Third one.
The third executive order is called Labor Direct Mandatory Compliance on Labor Direct Digital Governance Order. Okay. Now, there is going to be a digital governance system called Labor Direct. For those in government, it means that every ministry, department, agency must be logged on to it's a data. It's a big online system for your planning and your budgeting and for regulation. Okay? For you and me and the world guys, they will download an app. You have an app in your phone. What local government are you from? You're from Imo State, maybe?
Yes.
Maybe you're from...
I'm from Mbise local government.
Mbise local government.
Yes.
Now, if you click on that app and you go to your local government area, you probably want to check for a borehole behind your house, which has been voted by your ward guys. You check borehole number 001, and then you call your ward. You tap, you will see that file will open for you. Borehole has been dug to 20 meters deep. The contractor has done 30% of his job. He has been paid 60% of his money. This is what is left. Then you will click. Congratulations. You will give them a thumbs up. But if you're not satisfied with your work, you will say, no, why? You will complain. And then there's another platform that receives all the complaints, and then they go check. You understand what I'm saying here, sir? So there must be a law in the country that says this labor director, since it is the governance system we're practicing, the National Assembly has to pass it. So that is the law we're talking about here. The next one is distributed cluster power. All right? We are thinking that while we are renovating the existing grid, because it is really collapsed and vandalized a lot, while we're also producing more, giving our grid more capacity and doing new grids to evacuate the maybe 13,000 megawatts that is produced in the country, we are thinking of going the way of alternative energy systems, sustainable energy systems. For all of these new clusters, these farm clusters we're talking about, we will not depend on the national grid.
The existing national grid.
It needs some work. It will pick up. It needs time, all right? It has been carrying this weight for a long time without this new assistance we're talking about. Our dams are falling, they are breaking, there's a lot of problem with the national grid. We will create a new cluster-based power system, and most of it will be solar, wind. We are also looking at
thermal energy,
which is a very, 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 very veritable source of energy. And then biomass.
That's gas.
Thermal is gas and the one you dig down to the earth.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have biomass, where you have big forests and all of that. So we will have an executive order that says every cluster is specific to a kind of combination of energy type, but all of them must be sustainable so that the clusters can function. They can pick up while the national grid is doing what it's doing and is getting the renovation. So that is the power executive order. Then we have the appointment of 100 word-to-word technology coordinator.
That's number 4 now.
That's number 4. A word-to-word pilot tech coordinators program. Now, we don't want word coordinators to just function in an election and go back.
Yeah.
Now, the Chinese system of governance trains those who come to the highest from the lowest. They start training them from you can't go from your ward. Somebody like me in China will never be able to go and contest for presidency. You must have done something down here. You pass, you go to the next level,
Local government, states.
So our
region,
ward
whatever.
technical coordinators is the entry point into politics for someone who wants to go and become a governor tomorrow, or a local government chairman, or a president, or a senator. Are you getting? So this ward tech coordinators program will involve them coming up. We'll pick veritable and qualified persons, okay? And check them out and then train them, and then they go up. What is written here is that we should deploy 100 of them, and then they will carry out mapping for schools, water systems, and the rest of them. And then, of course, you have the next one, compulsory artisan registry. Just like you have professionals, you have compulsory artisans registry on the ward. And then, of course, you have about 10 of them. Maybe for the lack of time, we cannot take them all, but there are 10 very critical orders signed to empower Labor Direct to be able to hit the ground running from day one.
So ideas are good. We always talk about the fact that ideologies don't exist in Nigerian politics.
Yes, it doesn't.
But some people also tell you that ideas could be there, because if you look at the parties, they all have their manifestos. So you could actually say those manifestos represent their ideologies, but implementation is where the problem is. Now, for you, how are you going to make sure that these don't end up as soapbox promises, but that you would actually ultimately and eventually implement all of them if and when you're elected president?
Well, I have looked at a number of party constitutions, and I've seen many manifestos. A lot of them are aligned to the capitalist system. I've seen that. I've seen a few. I think the YPP Labour Party are aligned with the people more than most other parties. So my first answer would be that, yes, a lot of parties have ideologies, but the ideologies is what is running us down to tomorrow. So we need a totally new ideology to run Nigeria. And like I said, if an angel comes from God and continues with this thing, it will not go anywhere. So you need a normal person running a totally different leftist, very leftist ideology to run Nigeria. What will I do? All I have done all my life is to deploy DIY in my development.
Do it yourself.
Yes. You need to come to my complex, somewhere built with, it is built under 6 billion, but if you come there, you think I spent 60. I did it with my hands. All right. I raise my welders. They are certified. My engineers, all of them. I can probably say there's no one working in my organization that is up to 40 years old. Young persons. I'm the oldest.
Are you not being discriminated?
Yes, I'm the oldest.
Does it mean older people like us?
You can. You
less?
can come. Of course, you have the skill. You can come. So what am I saying? Dunamis Glory Dome.
Okay.
One of our projects, flagship projects, Salvation Ministries Auditorium in Port Harcourt, where collect together between Dunamis and Salvation Ministry, we worked with over 1,000 tons of steel.
Still.
1,000, what am I saying? 700,000 tons in dunamis and about 300,000 tons in Salvation Ministry.
So that's a million.
A million tons of
A million tons.
worked by Nigerians. I led the team. I don't have a white man from Germany or from France helping me with
These were
solution.
locally developed skills.
100% local. I do not know how to do anything outside a DIY system. If you blow the whistle today and you say, start to develop Nigeria, I will close the borders first.
Nobody escapes.
No, I will close the border. No,
We'll
escape, you can escape, you can travel, you can do it. I'm talking about
Infiltration, okay.
importing anything.
Okay.
Even equipment that are needed for the development of this country, they are all lined up on the road there from here to Kubwa. They're everywhere. It's about the heart of the ruler. My people say, it's even written in the Bible, that with the eyes, a king drives out rubbish from his cabinet. He doesn't need to talk. It's about the attitude of the king.
The body
It
language.
is the body language. What do I want to do? I will hit the ground running. So I was telling somebody yesterday, there is a way they construct road. I constructed my road 1 kilometer under 50 million, sir. It's there. It's 3 years now. I've not patched one. And it's started. 52 million. 1 kilometer of road by our current system is 250, I'll be 300 million now. Same thing. But because I did it myself, with my boys.
Direct labor.
We went to Labor Direct.
All right, so I get that. But now, it's good you said labor direct, but I was just thinking, let's walk away from all your policies, labor direct, executive orders.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about your politics.
Yes.
I know for sure that you were part of
The Labour Party.
the obedient movement, not just Labour
yes,
Party.
yes, obedient movement.
Peter Agada for Peter Obi and all that.
Yes.
And you've spoken to me about how no quarrel, but you feel
my fantastic leader.
Peter is no longer Obi, that is a boy, not Peter Obi.
Yes.
And now you're a man, you can stand on your own.
Yes.
Now, you are in the YPP. Looking at the name Labour Direct, it's obvious that these are long-term ideas that came from your days at the Labour Party.
Yes.
Obvious.
No, even before the Labour Party.
Or even before the
20 years
Labour
ago.
Party, when you still had these leftist ideas that you want to implement. Where are you with the Labour Party now? Last time I heard you were quarreling with them.
Yes. I felt so hurt because I love the Labour Party and I was treated like a lover that was thrown under the bus.
A jilted lover.
A jilted lover, you know. I'm Labour in my heart. I can't leave the Labour Party. Even after that ordeal, we went to court. We were trying to seek redress, but of recent, I pulled back that court case and went to meet with my leaders in the house, in the headquarters.
Labour Party.
Labour Party, and just to talk over things with them, because even with the court case ongoing, I still had programs and projects with the NLC and TUC. NLC, TUC, and the policies coming out of those two organizations is what's driving Labour Direct. So I can't go away from Labour.
So there's still a string.
There's a connect, very strong connect. And in truthfulness, there is a strong connect between the Labour Party and the Nigerian youths. If you can link them together.
Sure.
And I believe that I'm here
You're bridging
to cause
that
that
gap.
link. Yes.
No, but now some people would say, oh, but you're educated, you're a successful person in your career, your business, but experience and all these things, do you think you can win the presidency? But let me ask you this. Would you be willing to go into some kind of alliance or coalition, cooperation, whatever name is called, with other political parties? If your people at Labour Party want to come, okay, let's collaborate in some way, would you? Or even Peter Obi, is there anything that could see you go into coalition or alliance with other parties or candidates in the course of these elections?
Ideology will be the first entry point. Once you align with what we're talking about, there's a lot of possibilities of working together. As long as it is the same ideology, as long as it is people driven, it is bottom top, all of what I've described. If your ideology and our ideologies are the same or they align, why will we not work together? It will be very, very easy for us to work together. Now, let me answer the first question before the ideology question. Age, I'm 55.
You're still a young man by Nigerian politics.
I am 55.
You should be like in your 70s before you want to start thinking of being president.
That is a misnomer in itself, in reality. But let me answer. In my 23, 24 years of running companies, I have run, by the last time I checked my records, only for Dunamis project, I was in control of over 5,500 persons working under me. And the budget for that project was close to 10 billion, about that. I've done a lot of projects before this, and I've had a number of persons under my management. I do not see Nigeria as anything difficult to run. And besides that, sir, you can ask Mr. Peter Obi this. You can ask Professor Pat to tell me this. We wrote down what these people implement.
Okay. So
who is stronger, the teacher or the student?
All right. I'll leave that up
You
there.
know? So ending it, Mr. Peter Obi is a fantastic man.
Yeah, good.
A lot of his policies align with what, in fact, we wrote a lot of it, and he agrees with a lot of it. So he's a man that we can connect with anytime.
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 Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're not talking to me anymore now.
Yes.
You're talking to the Nigerian people. They are going to see this. Look in the camera. Talk to the Nigerians.
Yes.
In as few words as possible, but as concise as possible.
Okay.
Tell them exactly why Peter Agada is the best man for the job.
All right. So Peter Agada has been at the back end of Nigeria's development since 2004, thereabouts, writing policies, providing solutions to different thematic areas, leading a group of Nigerian professionals who are their best all over the world, providing solution, writing, trying to find ways to move this country forward. Out of concern, nobody paid us to do that. Nobody commissioned us. But we have put this together, and we have not let it go, because time after time, government after government, it has proven that what we've written is the truth, is the way forward. If Peter Agada, or when Peter Agada is voted into office, we are going to implement this system that is going to involve you and us working together, not a system that cuts out the young persons of this federation. In fact, what we're putting together, by the time it is implemented, the gaps of lack of, we don't even have enough professionals in Nigeria. Some states don't even have enough. We will have to be doing visa lottery for professionals, for areas where professionals are not enough. We will bring in people the way America brings in professionals, the way the UK brings in professionals. Nigeria is blessed enough to have systems in place that can bring in people in areas where we do not have the people for us to develop our country. So we have a system, it belongs to Nigerians, it is bottom top, it is opposite of what they are being practiced right now. It can change this country. I can drive it. I have driven it in my projects, in my personal projects. I've run Dunamis, Glory Dome, Salvation Ministry, Trinity Tower. There are so many projects in my system, in my portfolio that I've run successfully, and we're going to deploy this same principle to run Nigeria successfully. Thank you so much.
No need to add any more to that. Just to say thank you so much, Dr. Peter Adole Agada, for making our time to talk to us.
I appreciate that.
I believe in the days to come, we'll still have more and more conversations as we go. But thanks for obliging us once again.
Thank you so much.
And for also talking to Nigerians.
Thank you so
Wish you all the very best.
I appreciate
as
you, sir.
things
I appreciate
progress.
you. Thank you.
That's why we draw a curtain today. Our guest has been Dr. Peter Adole Agada. He is an architect, an infrastructure policy strategist. He is a nation builder and presidential aspirant under the Young Progressive Party, YPP. That's how we wrap it up today. We'll see you again next week. Till then, do your best to make Nigeria a better place. My name is Maddox. Do have a great day ahead.